Hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat with a dolly. Hello my dolly, the sweetie. The sweet kitten here on the back of the chair today. Today being Thursday, January 7th, 2021. Please be sure to do all of the social stuff below the video, etc., 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 all the wonderful, beautiful things on this day to try to get all of the engagement and all of the people watching and all of that glorious stuff. Streaming today in a slightly lower bitrate than usual, down to 6,000 kbps because the speed test today came back capping at 8 for whatever reason. Whatever reason, it came back lower than usual. Might have to restart the modem after the stream today or something along those lines. Yeah, it's good things. So the game was updated. That caused a slight delay to starting the stream today. Factorio developers decided to release 1.1.7 today, which also included a change to a very specific file called config-path.cfg, or .config. Which means that when I loaded up the game today, I had no mods, or saves, or anything. I had no mods at all, even though there are mods in the game folder. So my setup is a little bit different. I do run the game on Steam, but I do not want the mods for the game to be on my C drive. My C drive is a M.2 SSD that has limited-ish capacity. I say ish because, well, it's still a 512 gigabyte drive, or 476 gigabytes after formatting and all that wonderful stuff. I've got like 114 gigs free on that drive. So I'd rather not have the mods for Factorio on a smaller drive, a separate drive from the game's actual installation drive. Meaning I had to make some edits. I set it so that the mods would load from within the game's installation folder, as well as saves and all of that. And that completely reset because they fixed spelling errors in the file. And that meant that it got re-downloaded for everyone on Steam, including those who had changed the information in that file. Thank you, Woob, for changing that file and making me have to go in and figure out, again, what it's supposed to be. It's basically the same, just copy-pasted over from the standalone version of the game, because the standalone version of the game has the files set so that you could have mods within the standalone games folder by default. So it's just a copy and a paste over to there. Anyway, game. There we go. Also, it seems to have changed settings on me. Not these settings, I think, but these settings. I loaded up the save and there were a whole bunch of tips. Where do I delete all tips from existence? I do not want them. I really, I don't want... No! Go away, you. You, die. Do not show me tips. I would very much appreciate it if we got actual tips on the stream. Like, that would be magnificent to get actual tips and super chats and all that wonderful stuffs. But not in-game tips. Oh no, they are obtrusive and awful. So what did we do last time? Right. Last time we met for the ABX series, the Space Angels series, as I have taken to calling it, I was in the process of making some glorious, beautiful modules through the process of doing biter breeding and biter zoos in order to get the raw crystal shards, the raw crystal splinters, the raw crystals, to make the various different types of polished crystals that we will need to make the logical boards, or whatever the heck you want to call them, that are used in the modules. That is the idea, and we were working on getting additional big biter queens. We had to succeed at least twice to get this process going, and we also needed to make sure we got at least an extra +1, because this process has a 1% chance of failing to give us back one of our queens in this cycle, but it also has a 50% chance of giving us an extra egg each cycle, meaning that overall, very, very slowly, you do accrue extra big queens. It is slightly positive on queen production. As we can see, we got our third queen. I would like to accrue additional queens before I truly do this setup to get into the next level of stuffs, the next mark level of stuffs. So while we wait for additional queens to happen, and yes, I will supplement with additional eggs through the puffers here. we are going to head down to the, I guess, to the mall for now, in case I need to pick anything up from there. And we're going to have a look at the module area. That is step 1. Just have a look at the module area. Thank you so much, YouTube, for telling me that, yes, I am, in fact, live. And also a thank you 11 hours ago, an email message from one of my patrons who upped their amount that they provide each month. Thank you so very much for that. I really, really appreciate it. Makes all the difference. Speaking of which, I did post an update vlog for the month of January 2021. Or, more accurately, it is the state of the channel, year in review, what was December looking like, all that sort of stuff. That and thank you video that I do for all of the patrons and members and all of that for the month. Every month I do a thank you video and review the previous month and go over the plans for the next month. But this being the start of a new year, I went over my plans for this year, my goals. What are my goals for the new year? That's what I discuss in that particular video. This is what we ended up doing last time, ultimately. Ultimately, we built this infrastructure preparing for both the medium and big biter stuff. And we went down here and we set up this infrastructure here to process small and medium biters to get splinters and shards, raw splinters and raw shards out. I need to repeat this one more time for the big biter build, and then we'll be done with all of the various biter shenanigans, quote-unquote biter shenanigans, and zoos and such, to get what we need to finish the modules. Speaking of which, I have finished what I want of the module text at this point. So, I can just get whatever I want, right? That's accurate. Like, I can just delete all this now. It is not necessary for it to be there. I do have robots that are taking these inputs and throwing them into the doohickeys. That is going to be what I end up doing, I think, in the long term, the overall setup. I will be bringing things into chests, and then the bots will take the chests into the stuffs as we go on the increasing mark levels all the way through 8. The thing is, how am I going to get stuff to its final destination? I do have the train stations that I need already for the necessary componentry. I should have all of my buildings that I need for this, I'm pretty sure, so I think I'm just going to head on over to that location, unless I need additional crystallizers. Let's go ahead and grab a stack of 20 crystallizers and 20 filtration. The reason for that, as well as make sure I do have ceramic filters, good. I have my filters. Exactly what I need on this day. Alright, thank you for stuffs. How about bacon? Bacon? Right, we need to put the harmonic crystal shards on the network so I could start making level 2 bacon. I would love some Mark II bacon. Yeah. Yeah. Mark II bacon. I like the thoughts of that. I like the thought of more bacon. So the level 2s of the beacons, and I should set the level 3 now that I should have the... Oh. It's utility science, isn't it? Where are you? Effect transmission 3. Where are you? There. It is utility science. And for some reason it uses standard tech rather than module tech. It uses standard techs. Yeah, I need to get that one before I can get these level 3 beacons. Level 3 beacons, by the way, are insane. Can I use that word? It's insanity on those guys. So I need to add additional loading. More trains. More train shenanigans. Could I please? Please? No? No. Nope. Nope. Could I? Nope. It's gonna be difficult no matter what I do to not add stuff up top. I have to sneak stuff in between. In between the doohickeys. I can stick a thing here. Did I do it one tile above? That's actually not a necessary doohickey over there. That one's necessary. These aren't necessary signals. Only the ones at the very beginning would be necessary. At the very beginning of the chain. All these other chain signals, not necessary. Where is my standard station? There we go. And do I happen... I do happen to be able to place those. Ta-da! Ta-da! Yeah. So, we get to repeat this one more time. Somewhere I can fit it. Anywhere I could fit it. Joy. Alright, game. We're gonna do it this way. And that is that. Hazi, hazu, huzzah, huzzum. S harmonic shards. She left me. My dolly. Alright. S harmonic crystals. There we go. We're now finished and ready to go with the harmonic shenaniganry. I just need to actually get harmonic shards going. So there is a little bit of work I need to do here on both sides. I need this. Oh my god, this is so dumb. This is so dumb. So, wow. Alright. I am going to make a little bit of adjustment. Just because... Yeah, just because there is the exact same output. Hello! Welcome. These are all making the same stuffs here, so I'm starting with blue, red, green. It really doesn't matter, ultimately. But it's milling all the things in on there. I just... Oof. It's getting the milled stuff back. That's the problem, because I did this here. I need a splitter. Oh my god. I need a splitter here. Maybe I just get rid of this in its entirety. Really doesn't matter how it comes back in, but I do need more milling drums. More milling drums. And they need to, like, split and go down to the next array as well. Ta-da. Ta-dee-da-doo-ta-dum. So, let's try to make this a little bit nicer. This is the end of the line for blues and such, so wherever I do this splitting, we're gonna do all those undergrounds, and then it's sort of like I have to do that and that again. I need some sort of splitting, not there, but there. Ta-da. Is that the correct thing? Hold up. Cut. Of course it's not the correct thing. Ah, da 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 da. Why? Why do I always make this mistake? I always, always, always make this mistake. These are not the items that get voided here. It's these three. I'm just gonna cut and shift all the way over here. Yeah, you move. Everything move. The good thing is, once I actually build this, I'll be able to copy and paste it over here for the other stuff. It's just, getting it all done in the first place. There we go. Splitter there. Splitter there, and no splitter there. I will need additional milling drums. There we go. Some additional milling drums. I will need even more milling drums to keep everything flowing. For now, though, doinky, doinky. And there. That is what I needed. That was, say, step one. Will I be able to actually process all of that stuff? Clearly not. I need to, at minimum, shift what lane all this is going on. And then I may need additional processing here of this slurry. That's a few crystal catalysts you've got going on there. Geez, would this actually produce enough crystal catalysts to do what I need to do for the other, for the modules? Maybe. I don't even need crystal catalysts. What am I saying? This gold coils, fiberglass, alumina, and base mineral oil. Those are the only things I actually would need. Why would I need base mineral oil? Polishing compound. Right. That's why I need base mineral oil. Polishing compound. That's why I need this stuff. These crystals. Is so that I can polish some gemstones. Make some gemstones. Yeah, I should use this. That's processing 52.5 up to 52.5. I mean, 94.5. this stuff here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, is processing up to 39, and we can see that it's not enough. Even at full speeds. Hey, buddies, there's these things I've got, they're called bacon. It's all called bacon. That's not gonna do much. That's really not gonna do much. Alright. So, sure thing, we're going to tack on just a few additional there, so that this belt can flow for me. And then what I'm probably going to do is go over here and filter out this other side, and then let that go down. It'll get filtered again, but I'll do something along those lines, so that once I get the other setup going, I guess this can be a little closer there. Once I get this setup sorted down here for the crystals, this is the shards. Once I get the crystals going, which again, it's an identical build. I just need the alignment. Of course, it was off a tile. Ah, right, I need to do that multiple times. Hmm. There you go. Better-ish. Now it can do its job. Ideally. And now that I'm thinking about that, this is consistent crystal catalyst, right? Like, this is consistent, yes? This will never end. As long as I'm providing the stuff, this does not stop. It's always going to give me crystal dust here to, powder, excuse me, to convert into catalysts and slurry. Because I need both slurry and catalysts. What I may wish to do here is actually add more of this. You're learning train supply manager and just wondering how my train stops were wired up? Ha! This actually just came up recently in a comment. Drizzit was very confused. Very confused. I've explained it different ways, some ways better than others, but the way that train supply manager at the base level works is that you will tell it to bring a thing as requested. I actually have to go here. is that you will tell it to bring a thing that you have defined from a priority, from a depot, stop, supply station, I should say, and it will attempt, without any circuit logic, to send every single available train from a supply stop to a requester stop that is requesting the IDs of that station. It will never cease. It will always send every single available train that is assigned to a supply station setup to a requester station setup, or a depot to a requester. The circuit logic is meant only to limit how many trains are being sent to a location. And it requires two things. It requires you to define how much stuff total you want, and how many trains at one time should it send. Max. If you leave off that second part, it's going to try to send every single available train from that depot to the requester station if you fall even 1 unit short of the amount of stuff that you have set it to request. Yes, it will absolutely send 50 trains to a requester stop if you have 50 trains available on a supply station of 50 stations if you fall just 1 item below the threshold value that you set. So, going into that, knowing this, the way that this is set up is that we have wired up the total input values, the total amount of stuff in these warehouses that are being offloaded from the trains. They have been wired into an arithmetic combinator, and we're taking that value, whatever the item is, whatever the signal is, just the value of the signal, that is each, and we are dividing that by 4,000. That is approximately the amount of stuff I want. Let's think of it as the amount of stuff I want. It's not quite the exact value of the stuff I want. This is technically supposed to be the amount of stuff that's in a train, max, for the station. But that's not exactly how I use it. I use it just as a flat value across most things because I don't want to think about how much stuff is in a train. This is supposed to be how much a train load is, but whatever. It's enough to think of it as this is approximately the amount of stuff I want multiplied by the number of trains, loads of stuff that I want in here. So this is 4K, but when we look at the next combinator, we're taking a constant value of 2 and subtracting it by that divided value. So really, the amount of stuff total that we're going to have is 2 times the amount of this value. Really, because we're taking a value of 2 and subtracting it by that division here. So if the amount of stuff we've got, what is the signal coming in here? 22,000. The output signal is a value of 5 right now. That number divided by 4,000 is a value of 5. Rounded. It always rounds to a whole number in circuit logic in Factorio. It does not deal with floating point values, decimal placed values, or fractions. That value of 5 is 3 more than a value of 2. So our output signal here of P is going to be a negative 3. If P is greater than 0, a train will be sent. The number of trains on the way right now that's 0. This light will turn on. This light will turn on when the number of trains on the way, right now 0, is less than the value of P. So when P equals 1, the number of trains on the way will iterate by 1. And then 1 being less than 1 becomes false. The light turns off again, and there's only the 1 train on its way. Right? I understand that when I have it set to less than. If I had this set to less than or equal to, then it would have another train. There would be 2 trains that come on their way when P equals 1. Because you'll have 1 train on the way, 1 is less than or equal to 1, therefore it's still enabled, and it will send another train, a second train, and then 2 will be a false value. 2 is not less than or equal to 1, and it will turn off and stop requesting additional trains. So there would be 2 trains on the way. There, that's why we have less than and not less than or equal to on this particular condition, so that when we fall below that threshold, or in this case, 2, effectively 2 times 4,000, that's when we'll start bringing in more stuff. And if our p-value is really high, it'll send that many trains, as many trains as you have available, until that p-value goes down. So if I say increase this to 40,000 to get 80,000 units of stuff, because this is a fluid and we have a lot of stuff, we have a train. We only have 1 train of sulfur right now. Sulfuric acid, excuse me. We only have 1. But the p-value being sent out is 2. So it would send an additional train if it could. If it could send an additional train, it would. Now, it will only ever send 2 max trains here because our constant is 2. It would send an infinite number of trains if our p-value was able to go higher than 2, but because we're saying 2 minus x, we cap our p-value at 2. We cap the value that this can possibly be at 2. Even if we need infinite amounts of stuff, it will max 2. And of course, if we said less than or equal to here, it would max at 3, because it would be plus 1 after that, for the same reasons that I mentioned earlier. It will cap at 2. Now, if we want to cap it at some other value higher than 2, we can, but because we are subtracting by this x, remember that this is actually effectively the equivalent of train loads of stuff at a time. We're basically saying we want 2 train loads of stuff at a time stored in here, and then send trains when you've got that many train loads of stuff in the system. Assuming we have max train loads, etc., it's gonna vary because we have a high value here. It's effectively going to be 2 times this value. It doesn't actually exactly need to equal the amount of stuff in the train. The amount of stuff in the train will vary, but it will still only send 2 times this value into the system, and that's where the complete total cap is. I hope that made sense, made better sense than the other ways that I've explained it in the past. To at least some degree. Now, why are you not moving? Oh, yeah. That would be why. We need more milling drums. Of course we need more milling drums. Here, let's request like 600 and head back to the mall to pick all that up. That is the basics of how I'm using Train Supply Manager. I am not the one who came up with this logic, by the way. I found this logic. I think it was actually in the. I'm trying to remember. I think it might have been in the Train Supply Manager documentation from the mod page. I think is how I based this on. I can't remember. It was so long ago. But once you set it up the one time, you can, because it's using each, you just copy and paste to all of your requester stations, and it'll follow that exact same logic for every single one of your requester stations. You just have to set what the depot is for the station to request from. And then you're good. That's why I'm able to do all these stations so quickly, is because I already have the circuit logic as part of my train station. Good, good. Glad that was a bit of a better way of explaining it. Sometimes you have to actually understand it yourself, too, before you can explain it. Which, yeah, it got me... The comment that I got the other day actually got me thinking about how it actually works, and just a bit in a different, better way to explain it. It's like, oh yeah, it is looking at how much stuff total, like you are still setting as total for how much you want, but it's a total that's divided by the number of trains max that you want to have on the way at any given time. So if you want 8,000 units of stuff in storage, but you want 2 trains on the way max from your depot stations, well then you're going to request 4,000 units, and that's going to be capped to minus the 4,000 units, the value of the stuff divided by 4,000 units, and that'll keep that much in storage, while also keeping the station limited to only being able to send 2 trains at a time. Up to 2 trains at a time, and when it needs more stuff, it'll send 1 train to top it off, shall we say. And it'll top it off, you'll have more than what you requested, of course. Whatever is in the train when it arrives. And so that's why the negative values of X are there, and negative P values at the end will happen, because the train generally carries lots of stuff in it. You're not going to be exact, because it'll request stuff the moment you fall below the threshold value by 1 unit, and it'll send an entire train when that happens with this logic. This logic could be better. It could be better. You could have a lot more fine control over exactly when to send a train. Because what you have to be careful of with this logic is not requesting more than what you can store. Don't request more than what you can store, otherwise problems happen. Problems can happen. Alright, back we go. Now that I should have all of the stuff, it seems the kittens have had their breakfast now, so they are going to be full of energy and running around behind me somewhere. We may see them, we may not. Again. We had Dolly on the back of the chair for a little while earlier. Yeah, it should be like you could use the circuit logic to set a min and a max effectively. Say keep this max value, but don't send a train until you fall below this min value. That can be separated out, but it requires more logic to happen. I think you need more combinators to do that. Completely possible, doable, easily doable, really. It's just doing it and then using the additional resources every time you place a station, a requester station. That's effectively the issue there. But yeah, you could set it between, for example, you could set it to hold and maintain between 1 and 2 train loads, or between 2 and 3 train loads at a time. As long as you know how much a train load is. That's the key, or a key. Hello? Ollie. Hello, Ollie. You're at my feet? Where's my Ollie? Hey. He runs. He runs from me. Kittens are playful right now. Energy. NRG. All the NRG will be had. I think this is done? Yeah? This is done, yes? I was considering maybe making this go faster, because I may need a lot more to do this crystallizing. So I need 4 times the amount of these. Four times 28.13, that's over 100. Alone. And another 2 catalysts worth. And then I'm not even getting enough crystal slurry out of all this, I'm pretty sure. Of all the ones that are moving, 8 are moving not even consistently. 6 are moving consistently. Oh, I need even more milling drums. Yes, even more milling drums. Yeah, that was wishful thinking, wasn't it? By the way, you can process 8.25 per second. Alright, good to know. And that is the exact reason why I would like to have, or I would like to make additional crystal slurry and catalysts in this build through additional geode processing. That's the whole reason right there. Now, the real question is, why am I not getting blue catalysts? Or why am I not getting more harmonics? What is wrong on this output? Oh. Really? I messed up, I messed up an input priority. I think. Ah, I messed up here. It needs to feed back, and I didn't feed it back properly. Yeah. So this needs to exist here. Actually, it needs to exist here. And that needs to happen. And I need to pick up a lot of these because there is too much in the system right now. That same thing applies out here. There we go. That will do exactly what I need it to. I hope. And pray. Now we have the harmonics. Like, why no stuffs? Why no stuffs? That's why no stuffs. And then I need to get into what exactly do I want bots to do? Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good point. Because yeah, I've done all this with belt so far, but shouldn't I just bot the stuff? Like, seriously, shouldn't I just bot the things over? And set up bot-based thingies? I think I should set up bot-based thingies. That would mean having stuff provided in chests, the raw resources provided in chests. Let's go ahead and do that. Filter solder. Do I want that throughput limit, though? That's another good point. Like, is that really the limit? The thing that you want to have as limit? Probably not. No, what I would like to do, more likely, is get these into provider chests over here. Yeah, inventory full. I need coverage. Logistic zone coverage, so let's get roboports. There's glorious roboports, all set up, ready to go. I'm just thinking I'm going to add more of these and add more of these. And they are going to offload into our chests again. There you go. that should... Quotations around should be all I need. I will need module logic boards and module processor boards. They're going to need fiberglass boards that I will bring in by train, as well as the ferric chloride solution. So they are going to be done here. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Stuff's Shenaniganry and Mayhem. I am in the process of trying to make additional modules. These can be processor boards. These are the logic boards. These can be processor boards. They look so similar to each other. I wish they didn't look so similar to each other. It all comes down to differences on the actual wiring patterns on these icons. But it is the exact same stuffs for each of those. Let's see here. I will need... Wait. Copper, gold, and fiberglass. Right. I can inline some of this. Yeah. Yeah. Requester. Provider. Mirrored on the other side. Times 2. More of all that. So, note that I've got 6 productivity modules in here, and these will get better as I get level 8 modules, as I get higher and higher rank of modules all the way up to level 8, which are 50 productivity each? 40 productivity each. So, 40 times 6. 240%, which means for every 1 cycle, we get a lot more. We get more than 2 stuffs for free. 2.4 extra stuffs. So in this case, that 4 will become 13.6. Yeah, that 4 items out in a cycle. Yeah, that's gonna be the equivalent of like 13.6. It'll start giving 12 most cycles, plus in between cycles it'll give another 4. Yeah, it's great. Well, technically not quite how that works. It does the productivity cycles. It'll do productivity cycles faster than the actual cycles of the recipe itself that cost stuffs. Alright, I need power to the everything here, and I need to actually bring in fiberglass and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and do that now. You are gold coils. You are going to bring in, or gold wire coils, excuse me. Yes, gold wire coils. We already have gold coils. This is very specifically the gold wire coils. This one is the fiberglass. Factorio better than Satisfactory? I would say, in terms of mechanics, absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. Mechanically superior than Satisfactory. Much and infinitely higher replay value than Satisfactory does. That's my overall thoughts thus far. Having played both now, not nearly as much of Satisfactory though. I have not finished a playthrough yet of Satisfactory, just so folks are aware. While I am streaming both right now, the Satisfactory stream is the first time playing. I was looking for the old Illumina icon, but Artisanal Reskins changed it recently. I was looking for the previous icon, so I was not. It just wasn't happening. Just wasn't happening there. Satisfactory is a much better looking game overall. It is a 3D environment of this style of building. It's infinitely more ability to make things look neat in 3D. I find the building mechanics a little bit tedious at times in Satisfactory. Having to do everything from first person can be very painful. I still think it's a decent game. It knows how to. It is able to handle enemies significantly better than Factorio does, to say the least. I was looking for base mineral oil, which exists in here. That stuff. The basest. Really? I don't. Okay. Base mineral oil train. I need another, apparently. Where even? Here. The train is busy. It is very busy, this train. What mod do I use for that train unloader? This is bulk rail loaders mod. The bulk rail loaders and unloaders exist in the same mod. Bulk rail loader. Completely separate from any train supply mods. I use train supply manager. Personally, that's just the one I prefer. It is because it is resource agnostic. It does not care what you have in your trains. It does not care about specific items in trains, and therefore that makes it a lot better for performance overall. Alright, there's all of that stuffs being made. I need to get the 3 crystal types brought over, polished. Crystal types brought over. Whoopsies. How am I going to deal with... Ah, that's how. Like, how am I going to deal with this stuff in my inventory? How am I going to get stuff over here? Is that gonna happen? No, that is not gonna happen. Alright, I'll have to move down. There's one path of escape. That is not a path of escape. That's 2. Three. And I need one more. Pretty sure that's right here. Ah. sorta. And I need to be... Oh, God. Bots. Right. Yes, I need to uncoil the gold wire. Right. That's the other thing. And, you know, the whole point of the uncoiling of the gold wire is that it is done productively. That is the whole point of the making of the coils in the first place, is that it is done productively. Same thing all the way down here. I've got several hundred productivity modules, by the way. I should be filling absolutely everything that I possibly can with as many productivity modules as possible. Everything must be done with maximum productivity. Yes, this one, uncoiling the gold coils, uncoiling the solder, uncoiling the tin, and even the production of the silicon wafers down here. I need to make silicon nitride. That's the next thing on the list I've just remembered about. I need to make silicon nitride. My keyboard sounds like something with buckling springs. My keyboard is a K70, Corsair K70 with the speed switches, actually. Cherry Grays, technically, is what I think they're known as. Ew. Cherry Gray switches, that's what I got. They're a lot quieter. They are a lot quieter than other switch types. Trust me, I have keyboards with do I have blues? Wait, do I have one with blue? So I have a Corsair Black Widow with the Corsair greens, which are rather interesting. At least I think they're Corsair greens. Or oranges. Oranges? Maybe. I forget. I've forgotten. I don't use that Black Widow as much or at all anymore. And I have one with cherry browns. I'm trying to remember. It's a Rosewill. I forget the model of it, but it's a Rosewill keyboard with cherry browns. Haven't touched that in ages, though. It's a backup keyboard at this point. Funny thing about that keyboard, it was a replacement keyboard for the same thing that I had bought prior. I had originally bought as my first mechanical keyboard that Rosewill with browns. Because they're supposed to be, I don't know, I thought they would be quieter than they actually ended up being. And, as it turns out, they have a little bit of a design problem with them. A slight issue in that they have a really bad connector, USB connector on the back. They don't have an integrated power wire or USB wire on them. And Like they don't have the big wire stuff. It's tight here. They don't have the wire just attached to the thing. It is a mini USB connector, and the way that it is built, that connector can internally, in the little hole where the connector is, the connector can bend in there and it can like break. So that's what happened to my first version of my Rosewool keyboard, mechanical keyboard, is that the plug in the back just it got tweaked somehow and the connector broke. Do you know how I realized that I couldn't use my keyboard? What the circumstances were when I realized that I couldn't use my keyboard? I was playing World of Tanks at the time, and I was a member of a clan at the time, and we were doing a whatever the territory thingy is, the territory war thing in World of Tanks. It was the start of a match of the weekly, not quite weekly, but the periodic territory war thing. I couldn't move my tank at the start of the match. Multiplayer with a group of people. Yeah, that was fun. Having to literally get up and run and grab another keyboard and attach another keyboard at the beginning of a territory war match in World of Tanks. That I do believe we lost. It was not a great skilled group of people, and it was a long time ago. But yeah. Yeah. That was a thing. And of course my tank that I was using was a tier 10 French tank, which yeah, has more mobility on it, sort of meant for finding out information, scouting type stuff, or support and all that. Really, get back in there, you. So that was great, just being stuck for a little while in the main base, not being able to take part in the battle. That was fantastic, fantastic stuff. Love it when that happens. It's the first time I've had a. Was it the first time I've had a piece of electronic equipment break on me? It was definitely the most spectacular of times that I've had a piece of electronic equipment break on me. But it was not the first. The first was breaking a hard drive on a netbook. A tiny Dell netbook that I had. And yeah, I was using it as you're supposed to use them, dragging it around in my backpack to attend university classes, to take notes. That's why I had that netbook. Little old Windows XP netbook back in like 2009, 2010. And I guess I dropped my backpack a little too hard while the thing was on, and it killed the hard drive-ish. There was like it bad sectored on it, and it couldn't load into the operating system anymore. What it could do was load the Dell recovery system, or not the recovery, but the like diagnostic tool on it at the time, so I was able to get a test on it so that it could get error codes to give to customer support, and they sent me another hard drive. And that was the first time I ever did anything to replace a computer component on a computer, was replacing a broken hard drive on my netbook that I subsequently threw away not too long afterwards because I delayed harmonic shard. I delayed fixing the thing, calling in to Dell to send that to have another hard drive sent, and just wasn't using the netbook anymore. The only reason I even owned that netbook in the first place was because I had my actual full-size laptop ordered, but was waiting for the full-size laptop to arrive, and I got the netbook to have something because it would arrive sooner. The laptop, my first laptop that I ever purchased, the first computer that I ever purchased for myself, was an Alienware M17X. And it came with a hat. That computer died 1 year later. 1-ish year later. When the computer started blue screening due to the graphics card failing. I literally killed the graphics card on that machine. It was like a 470M or 460M on it. I forget exactly what the dedicated graphics card was on that machine, but yeah. I went around after that saying that I bought a $1,000 hat because the hat lasted longer than the computer did. Thank you, Alienware, Dell, for your quality craftsmanship. Lasted the whole of a year. $2,000 hat, excuse me. Those things are expensive. Never again did I buy from that company. From Dell. Never again will I buy from that company. After having a $2,000 computer have its graphics card die in a year of ownership. Consequently, the game that actually killed it was called Empire Total War. Because that made the computer run extremely hot. It ran real hot, and the onboard cooling of the machine could not keep up with it. Just could not keep up. But that I consider a problem of the design of the laptop itself, not being able to keep up with the demands of the GPU inside the system. 100% the fault of Dell, in that case, of Alienware, which had just gotten bought by Dell at the time. I replaced that computer with a desktop because I realized that I really didn't actually need to have a computer in the classroom to take notes. I could just as well just take notes. That really having the computer, I wanted a powerful computer cheaply and got a desktop. I ordered a pre-built desktop through the company I Buy Power. I ordered a computer with the freshly minted set of processors at the time that had just released called Sandy Bridge. And the computer had an i7 2600K, the top end of that line available at the time, just freshly released. The computer was in the mail when there was a recall initiated on motherboards because they were subject, because the chipset on the motherboards was subject to a melting problem that would kill SATA port connections. Over a period of a couple of years, apparently. So I'll give you a guess as to what happened there. I did not send back the computer that I literally just received in the mail. I stuck with it, and within a year, within 6 months, I lost SATA 3 ports. Or 2 ports, I forget which one. I lost SATA ports on that machine. I had to get I got an expansion card to put SATA ports onto the machine again. It was fantastic. Oh, I actually apparently put solder up here already. Oopsies. So yeah, that was fun. That was fun times. Yeah. But over time, I have replaced every single component of the computer. I think at this point, not a single component remains of the original PC. I'm pretty sure not a single one remains of that original PC on the computer that I have now. I have replaced everything, including the case, slowly over time. It has evolved into a completely different beast that I have built myself by hand completely. Rebuilt myself by hand completely from component parts. So now I have the Haswell E top-of-the-line processor. Now I have the X99 motherboard, which is apparently dying on me. And a whole bunch of memory and a whole bunch of storage, hard drives, SSDs, and the like. Oh yeah, and I learned that the original system lost its SATA port connections because I bought an SSD to use as an upgrade to the machine, as my first upgrade to my computer. The first actual upgrade to this pre-built system that I had bought was to get an SSD and more memory. I'm pretty sure it was more memory, better, higher capacity memory for it. And yeah, when the SSD wouldn't load, I learned, hey, the SATA ports are dead. Many of the SATA ports are dead. So it's like, wonderful. Such a fantastic piece of craftsmanship. This chipset. Maybe I should have set the computer back in when the recall was issued. Huh. Maybe I should have done that thing. If only I had waited literally 3 days. 2 or 3 days. Even 1 day, probably. Would have saved a lot of headache. Just really bad timing. With that alarm on my phone, we have reached the halfway point in the stream. I hope you've enjoyed story time, as I do basically nothing on this build right now. When I come back from my few-minute break, there are several things I still need to do. I still need to do the gemstone processing. I still need to do silicon nitride. I still need to do the actual board types for the speed and productivity and efficiency boards. And then I can set up the actual module production buildings, and I'll actually have higher tiered modules. I need to get the big biter stuff set up for the actual raw crystals. With that processing, that's sort of already done. It's just I have to get the big biters in, and that'll be it. That'll be it. The biggest part is the uh, polishing, the gem polishing, which is why I have the alumina. So yeah, with that, I will be stepping away to take a brief few-minute break. I will be back very shortly, few minutes. And I have returned. Welcome back. I see an Ollie. Ollie has climbed on top of a stack of boxes. Yes, you like it way up high? Of course. Of course the kittens like being as high as they possibly can get, physically. Stuff. Interesting, the bots aren't taking the trash stuff away, which is ideal because I don't have storage here right now. They can't take it because I don't have free storage available for them to deliver to. Entirely intended to be that way. You. I'm just trying to think about what I want to do in terms of production of crystal catalysts and the crystal slurry that I need. As nice as it is, like as efficient as it is to process the geodes directly into the slurry by comparison to making dust and processing dust into slurry, because I'm already doing this, I'm much more inclined to process this crystal slurry and use this crystal slurry. Where is this crystal slurry getting used right now? This is getting used for this. Ah, all of it. All of these things. Okay. That's good to know that I have that as a consistent source, but I need more. More! MOAR, more! All the stuff. We need more of it. Can I please? Of course not. We're gonna make you faster, and add in... Oh, I can't actually... Ooh, what I can do is, that. Haha! Success is mine. That will process everything I need it to. Yes. Now I don't need to really do this at all. And I know that what I have going on up above is producing enough crystal catalysts. Therefore, I don't need to make a dedicated build to these. Yes, yes, yes. We can just get into the gem processing directly. Okay. Gems! Beautiful, glorious, wonderful gems. I will make these gems where... It should probably be over here somewhere, which would mean moving the catalysts out and over to this side and getting the pipes over. Alright, we'll do this in here. I need 4 specific types of gems. I believe they are ruby, amethyst, topaz, and diamond. Definitely ruby. No, emerald. Ruby, emerald, topaz, and diamond. Those are the ones. And we start with ruby for the level 5 modules. Then go to emerald for 6, topaz for 7, and diamond for level 8. All of these except productivity modules on every step except for the last one. So it cascades its output for the amount of input. And of course you can beacon the living shenanigans out of it. Aha, that's right there. Interesting. So, I'm actually going to draw this line. Right here. There's that. And we'll make the bots deliver. Glorious amounts of catalysts. Let's get some catalysts brought over from here. Ta-da! Bots? Ah. They were all way down to the south. Now for a series of assembling machines. Emerald. Raw, or rubies. Rubies, emeralds, topaz, and diamonds. Just so that I can make sure. Yes, topaz for level 7 modules. The level 6 modules need emerald. The level 5s need rubies. Level 4s need nothing, as the level 3s need nothing, and 2s need nothing. Ruby for 5, emerald for 6, topaz for 7, and of course diamond for 8. All of which are the polished variants. So we need to set them up for success by processing into the raw versions. We then need to cut them, and then we need to polish them. Cutting them I'm just trying to think of where I want the water to be on here. That takes productivity as well. This, however, does not. It's sad. It's frustrating. This does not take productivity. It does take speed, though. And it will need speed, considering how much stuff you end up getting overall from this step here and the previous step. This 0.68 gets multiplied by a fair bit. A fair bit, especially as you get more and more productivity modules on it. That 0.68 gets multiplied by 50% here with these productivity modules. So there you go, 0.68, and it's 1 and 1, so you get another 50% gain here. So we've now had 2 consecutive 50% gains, and then we get another consecutive 50% gain if we had the speed for it, which we do not. Which we do not by default, which is why bacon is required. I have a need for bacon. This, I would like to separate these an extra tile, if at all possible. Just so that I can do an alignment like so. So I can fit beacons like so. That's a few beacons. I really don't care about ratios. Just an FYI. I don't actually care about ratios so much. Have some water. Have your water. And I need an input chest here and here. Apparently, I need another one of these guys out here. Excuse me. Place the thing. You, of course, are not that recipe. You are cutting and polishing diamond. You are cutting and polishing topaz. You are cutting and polishing emerald. Yes, there are 2 other gem types. I don't need those 2 other gem types, I think, for anything that I would actually use. The other ones being sapphire, used for personal and vehicle laser defense Mark II. Woo! And amethyst. Mark IV. Woo! I don't care. That's all those are used for, ultimately. And then these will offload into requester chests, or provider chests, excuse me. You need that stuff, just not the gems. You need that stuff, not the gems. Ta-da! And that is not crystal seedling. Whoops. Right. Right. So, let's, really? Let's process this into stuffs. We'll set up 3. Processing crystal slurry into crystal seedling through the ceramic recipe. Need purified water to an extent, and voiding. No productivity, because of course not. Water, pure water. Pure water, where is... Huh? Do I not? I must... Da-da. Like, I must be pure watering. Like, there's no way that I am not pure watering. And input output LL. Yeah, this is fine. Do that. You process this filters, cold water filters, or no, the ceramic filters, excuse me. Process with that recipe. Pure water in. You don't really need speed modules. Cannot take productivity modules and power. Filters. Power, power, power. Pipes. And that will be that when I reconnect the thingy over here. There we go. Now we have the crystal slurry to process into gemstones. If I had grinding wheels as well as polishing compound and polishing wheels. The grinding wheels we already have. We actually already have grinding wheels. The issue... let's cut that and paste it one tile over. Just for my own edification. Bring that over as well. Load that into that. Thank you kindly. That's one thing. I am overproducing, but not by much. So I have added that extra production. Doubled my production of these grinding wheels. Now, that takes silicon carbide. I also need silicon nitride, which is also important and uses silicon powder. I will let the bots take it from here. The silicon nitride will need or be made in what again? I always forget. Pretty sure it's regular assembly machines for some reason. Or is it these? It is these. Okay. These guys. How much silicon nitride do you make per second? Can we productively do so? Yes, we can productively do so. Ta freaking da. Do that. Give that. Power the things. There, and there. Just add nitrogen. I have 8. 2773. That's like, huh? Not anything. That's not anything. Like, hardly an issue. Nitrogen. From compressed air. We can do that in one whole building. Not productively, sadly. Like, one whole building. Air filters. Come to the... I need air. I need air. So yeah, 3 makes 200. This I could speed up to about 200 and be like, hey, 96, cool. Kill the oxygen. Power. That and that is silicon nitride being produced to some extent. There we go. We now have that. Why did I need silicon nitride? I needed silicon nitride because it is required in order to make the polishing compound, or one of those two things. The not the wheels, but the actual what? Well, alright, wheels are there, but compound is somewhere else for whatever reason. Not even in this machine. Here. Because it takes base mineral oil plus alumina. What was the... what? Oh, I'm thinking... I'm thinking CPUs. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of for the silicon nitride. I'm way ahead of myself on this. Yeah. I am significantly far above and away. Way above. Productively? Yes. Yes, productively. Why not? I mean, if that's the use of alumina. I need a restock on stuffs here. Power. Power the everything. Thank you kindly. Excuse me? Oh. There you go. The polishing compound is now polishing. So then it's wood and steel on that last item. Okay. Well. I need to restock. I seem as if I may need to restock. How am I at 1? Why do I only have, 1? There's something freaky going on. I have an unpaired thingy somewhere. I don't know where. We'll find it at some point, maybe. Pretty sure there's an unpaired underground somewhere or other. For right now, I do need to get into my mall again. Ooh. Ooh. Hoo hoo hoo. Hoo hoo hoo. Yes. When I get back to my mall, there's going to be something waiting for us that's going to be extremely nice to have, and that something is level 2 bacon. Mark 2 bacon. Because our harmonic shards are delivered now. So, great thing to look at up here is if I have been screwed. Have I been screwed? Output full. I have run out of meat on the Biter Refugiums, and I have gotten an extra queen, which was part of the point. So there's at least that I can be grateful for. You there, you're gonna take all... No, not those. Those. And I'm gonna take... I was gonna say I'm gonna take as many of those as I possibly can. Let's limit that again. No, I still need more. What am I thinking? I need infinites of that. I don't... I do need I need everything! Go away. I need the everything, man. I need the absolutely everything. Oh, hi, go away. That helps. Quite a bit. Yes. We're good now. Should I go and grab the biter stuff? No, I am going to be concerned first and foremost over this next little bit less than an hour before the end of the stream. I want to get levels 3, 4, and 5 modules. And this game is not going to stop me from getting levels 3, 4, and 5 modules. At minimum. Once that's done, then I will continue. I'm doing both of these in tandem, pretty much, and the big biters, it's just another copy-paste of this. There's really nothing else that I need to do outside of that, and I have been setting up infrastructure to do all of the boards to get into all the way up to Mark 8 of the modules. Heck, this thing here is for CPUs, which is not until the last 3. And here, these things are for the last 3. 3 of these. This is the last 3 levels. This is the level 5 that I need now. I only really needed to do Ruby, but if I'm going to do Ruby, I may as well do the other things as well. Things. Oh. Something needs steel? What's requesting steel? You? Oh, it's you. Let's just not even think about that machine there for a second. You there. You? No, not you. I need you giving me these polishing wheels. Requester chest, requester chest. There we go. Give me the everything. Oh, that makes a lot each. Oh, that makes a lot each and uses tons of wood. I really only needed one. Okay. Well, that's going to be that. And that's going to finish up the last ingredient for the polished stuff. Why? Oh. Duh. How much? There you go. Now you can cycle. Just as long as there's not too many for the belt to cycle. Pretty close to it. I hope it doesn't deadlock. Okay, look, it looks like we're good on there. Hey, we've got our things. Diamonds, a lot of diamonds, a lot of topaz, a lot of emerald, and a lot of ruby. It's exactly what I wanted to see. You, and you. That's level 3, 4. No, no, no. Level 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There you go. That covers everything. Isn't it beautiful? We're not done yet, though. We're not going to be able to actually make these things quite yet, but I am going to set these recipes 6, 7, 8. This one's pure speed. Ooh. Okay, I kept all those limits. I really don't think I like these icons from artisanal reskins. Pretty sure these are artisanal reskins. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, these are logical icons. they work logically. I just think that from a distance, it's really hard to tell how many lights are actually on the icons. Like, it is from a distance, especially if items are like on a belt, it can be hard to differentiate between how many lights are on, say, between a 5 and a 6, or a 4 and a 3, or a 2, a 3, and a 4. It can be a little hard at a glance. Needs more slurry. Need more slurry, please. And in the meantime, you. See the types of items that these are going to start requesting. We need to get into integrated electronics and CPUs next. Just clicking 5 times to add 5 times the paste value. Okay. Meanwhile, where am I doing the actual... these guys? Yeah, it doesn't really matter anymore. Let's go... 1, 2, 3... That. I need a 4th. And that. Productivity all the way. Might be a better idea to have these inputting and outputting. These are the ish identical recipe. Ugh. You're working towards super steel. All you need to finish is vanadium pentoxide chain. Congrats on needing to go through vanadium pentoxide. It is not bad, in my opinion. Vanadium pentoxide is actually a pretty easy chain once you get to thinking about it. This is amazing! This... This is an amazing building. Hello, building. You take 4. This is just the level 2. This is not even remotely the final form of the bacon. The level 3 will distribute the entirety of the effect of the modules. So, you know, the entire 40% on these level 2 modules will be broadcast. And they have 6 module slots. I think 6. So, 6 times 40 on the level 2s. The level 8s are like, what? 80? No, 120. They are 80 energy consumption plus 160 plus 160 times 6 times... I just got mechanicked. I just got video game mechanicked. Wonderful. Thank you, mechanics. Thank you. So I did not know that that was possible. Oh, right. It took, the machine. This was pure 7? 6? Pure 6? So I control left-clicked on this building with a level 2 pure speed module. This building is the recipe for the level 3 pure speed module, which takes it as an ingredient. So instead of placing the modules in the building, it fed the ingredient input to the remainder of the stack. Note that if you had one very specific setting enabled for Bob's modules, these would all take productivity. Which is just a little bit too OP. To be completely honest, yeah, that's what I was thinking. That right there. That's what I was thinking. Integrated electronics for you. I'm basically just gonna... no, I'm not gonna copy-paste. I am going to do another 4 over here, though, and that's going to be these items, which are very similar, just taking different ingredients. For some of the raw gem ores missing productivity, yes, I am. That I am. I would be going through again with higher speed modules anyway. I mean, yeah. Would see it at some point, but it's good to have that extra output. Thank you so much. Noticing these were empty. Speaking of, those were empty. Need to fill those. These are going to take the integrated electronics as well as CPUs! And the harmonic stuffs. And the other stuffs. So we are almost ready. We are almost ready for greatness. Nearly time. All we need now are CPUs and integrated electronics. That's it. That's all. Integrated electronics. Requires sulfuric acid, so I will need to bring that in. At the minimum. Oh, boy. Plastic. Right. I need more stuffs. I need more passive provider chests. Oh boy. So those are just gonna get made. Just however many I have, productively, ideally. I'll do this again here, but instead of that, it's going to be CPUs, which are going to take a completely different set of stuffs. And we'll need the shift that tiles that all of it is combined. There, that. And then I need sulfuric acid to be brought over. Where is sulfuric? There's the line for the sulfuric. Ta-da! And that right there, by itself, should mean that as long as my robots exist and are moving, that I should now be making level 3, 4, and 5 modules. Or I should be able to make level 3, 4, and 5 modules once the logic boards start flowing here. Once these get their integrated electronics. All of these guys. Once these guys are flowing, which I know right now, little limited on the infrastructure. Of course, I should be using bacon as much as possible here to make them go as fast as I can, but limited throughput by inserter capacity and speed. That's the main limiting factor for the stuff now. It's just the ability to shove things into machines. We go from having the issue of needing a bunch of machines to now Ollie is leaving and making noise, to now being limited by our inserter capacity and speed. Because we've got lots of stuff. And also, I need more bots to exist out here. But of course, and we're gonna need a lot more power. Yeah, we're gonna need a bit of power in here. So that's cycling, that will cycle, and unfortunately it's going to feed into the level 6 building. Yeah, so there's our first productivity 5 module, which is plus 25%, has been fed into the building that'll make the level 6, our second one as well. But these are not going to move quite yet. Why? Because I need a set of stuffs to offload CPUs, my passive provider chests, and we need these crystals. That is the absolutely final thing to work on for the day today, as well as getting more of these milling drums into the system. Part of me wants to do something like this with a chest. I don't think I have a normal 1x1 chest, sadly. Sadly, I don't have a normal 1x1 chest. Huh. So what this does is I can just shove a whole bunch of milling drums into the system all at once and be fine. And as long as it doesn't fill up that chest, we're not going to have any problems whatsoever. Get rid of these extra things. Get rid of this milling drum request entirely. And then it's time for a restock at the mall. Huzzah. Huzzee, huzzoo, huzzum. And once I'm restocked at the mall, I'm going to go over to where I have the big biter queens that I need to begin all of the shenanigans, or continue the shenanigans, with the harmonic crystals, the polishing of crystals, and go from there, because I need to take this build, paste it below, and that's for the big ones, change the recipes to the big ones, and then get the raw crystals brought up to this build here. And then everything would flow. I just have to get then these 4 provided on the network. Them's the plans. And I should be able to do that within the next half hour. I theoretically should be able to do that within the next 15 minutes. We shall see, ultimately, how much of that I'm actually able to do. These basic electronic boards, man, I swear, I need more. Hey, Bebs. Where am I making Bebs? I think they're down here. Bebs. Buddy. What? Am I not requesting Bebs? I'm not request... Where are you? Where are you? What tab? What tab? Here. In case you were wondering how to remotely change the doohickeys, the request, that's how you do it. That is how you remotely change a request at a requester station. You hit the show requester train stops, and there is a button to edit from anywhere on the map. It's really nice. It's really, really nice. Why I was never bringing Bebs in? I don't know. I really don't know. So this entire time up to this point, the entirety of my mall was being fed by a trickle of basic electronic boards being made out of this one machine. Yeah. See, this is why you coil. This is why you need coils. Is because when you uncoil tinned coils, you can use productivity modules. And when you uncoil copper wire coils that have been casted in a strand casting machine, you can use productivity on those. Just so's you're all aware of that. That's how you improve the efficiency of your resource production across the board with angels. with Angel's production. So I need to go all the way up here to pick up this with its 4 queens and a whole bunch of eggs and a whole bunch of biters. Big biters. And I will need to copy and paste this down and slightly change some of the numbers in here. I should have plenty of speed modules. In fact, these numbers will drastically change now that I have access to, well, level 2 beacons, but also I now have access to level 5 speed modules, pure speed modules. Just like I now have access to level 5 pure productivity modules. Ah, so nice. Here, let's pick up these guys. My wonderful old thingies. I no longer need to feed those fruits to the majestic puffer puffing. Let us appreciate one last time the mating call of the majestic gaseous puffer. It's a glorious thing. Such a majestic call. Let's kick that back down a little bit. We no longer need to do anything involving puffers ever again. It is no longer necessary. It may be potentially useful for some types of gases, but and considering I've already set them up and have a bunch of the eggs of the different types, it would be easier to get into doing them consistently for a serious use, but I don't see much point. I don't feel like it. I just don't feel like it. I've done the thing. I can say that I have done that thing, and now that I have done that thing, I am happy, content. Don't really feel like doing more of that thing, especially since they have that sound effect on the building itself. That glorious mating call of the majestic gaseous puffer. Alright, let's head on down. We've got a few fish farms. By the way, if you have not yet seen my fish farming, I have a few fish farms. Just 396 of them hanging out, moving, full of Levac fish. Why Levac fish? Because that's the one that I got, frankly. Noises? There's noises behind me. Let's pick up that. And I'm going to copy this and paste it down pretty much right over top as best I can. There we go. Where are my kittens? I heard a meow. Did I hear an Ollie meow? Making noises? Where's my babies? Where's my Ollie and Dolly? What are my Ollie and Dolly up to? They need to come and say hi. We haven't had Ollie say hi yet. We had Dolly sleeping on the back of the chair at the beginning of the stream. We didn't have an Ollie. Not yet. Not yet, anyway. So I need to change these recipes over to the Big Biter Queen. The Big Biter Queen. Glorious. Breeding. Yes, so half the queens. That one, half the queens. That one. For what good that's gonna do me, and the current mechanic with the inserters. You are the big eggs. I need to change the ratios of these buildings, by the way, as well as shove more speed modules in them. And you are the egg zoos. Oh, I went and I did the wrong thing in the wrong place. This is the egg hatching. And this is the big zoo. Note, with the big zoos here, we've got a 75% chance of getting our biter back, so we have a 25% chance of losing a biter. I hear Dolly behind me. Here we have a 15% chance of losing a biter. And up here we have a 10% chance of losing a biter. So it progressively gets worse. Meaning the back end needs to be bigger each time. Speaking of the back end being bigger each time, I need 19, 10, and 7. So I have the 19. I need 7 queens and 10 of these. There's 11 there. So I will trim that. And give them the modules of their dreams. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 7 with speed modules, and that is that. Now, what I need to do with this guy is make sure that I output and filter. Output and filter these crystals with an input priority from the left. That's all I really need to do. And that is the crystals. This is the end of the line of the polluted, or the alien processed meat. This is the end of the line. For alien processed meat. There we go. It's glorious. And then, of course, we still need our wonderful nutrient pulp. Also, the end of the line of the nutrient pulp. This will be the first time we have gotten raw crystals ever. Oh god, no, no, stop, no, da. Big queens. Big biters. Whew. That could have been disastrous. That could have been disastrous. I did not have the proper filters on those splitters. And there, my friends, are the raw crystals happening. That is glorious. I do also need to change this to include the big biter eggs on the outside. And the big queens on the inside. Big queens, big eggs, and now we shall cycle. Alla freaking Luya. I need belt! I need lots of belt, actually. This is gonna be a mission. A real mission. Because I gotta bring a belt all the way up past all this mess. Here, I need to make this trip anyway to get back to my train. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to take this up with these guys. Hello! Welcome to what is the ending part of the stream today. The last about 18 minutes, last 20-ish minutes or so. I am wrapping up my module production. My level... Well, I have level 5 now. Started the day with up to level 3s. But, we've gotten a lot more. We've gotten a lot more stuffs going on this day. I need to restock with additional belt. Now that I have set up the big biter crystals, raw crystals, and have the infrastructure pretty much ready to go to get level 6, 7, and 8 modules. I officially do have levels 3, 4, and 5. That is done. Now it's just the 6, 7, and 8, which means getting into these crystals here, meaning I have to get my raw crystals brought in here, so I have to get these brought all the way up and over and up again. It's great. And then I have to get the outputs brought over to the bots, and it would be nice if I had more bots over there. So where are my bots? I'm going to take a few extra bots with me as we go along. Because there's a bit... Oh yeah, and I need to place a few entities. There's a thing missing somewhere. Oh. Really? That's like right near the thing. Am I not really carrying those around anymore? I've got one. Alright, I guess when I get back here, I'll go ahead and fix that next time I go to the top of this build. Alright. Off and over. I hear kittens behind me. Onwards and upwards. Upwards, still. There we go. Now, barring having done something completely wrong, which I wouldn't put it past me, I'm pretty sure that that will happen with those 4 things. I now need to get all 4 of those objects somewhere over here. So, oh god, that throughput though. That's not a good sign. Okay, you... There. Yes, if it can go wrong, it probably will go wrong most of the time. My goodness, you were pretty backed up there for a minute. The only problem is, yeah, we need to filter those, boars? No, they're used. They're definitely used objects. Used, millers. Mill. These. Out that way. Any other mill thingies? No. Good. There you go. Oh! That explains a lot. Hello, and welcome. My... the thing's not fast enough. Hi. Go faster. Load faster. Offload immediately. You know what? Just load. Load and unload. That solves everything. Success. Everything involving these, anyway. The processing of the milling drums. So, that needs to change to that recipe, and that recipe, and that recipe. And let's do not that, apparently. That. Lane balancing. Lane balancing is sometimes very necessary, and there's our 4 things that we need. Hey, hey, we've got our harmonic crystals. That one's going to be a little bit different because I have to get harmonic crystals loaded onto a train as well. Oh joy, I think what I need to do is get that like that and somehow go up and over. Try to hop here. 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 We shall see. Can I get something along those lines? You... You... And you. There. I'm just working backwards. Okay. Alright. Wow, that was at max distance. I can't believe it. It was actually at max distance. So all I need is to get the stuff up to there. Doesn't really matter where. Hello, Dolly. Dolly? Yes. Dolly! She came to visit. Under my desk. And scratch the walls. But of course, hello. Hello, my pretty kitten. Hello, my pretty girl. My pretty girl, she wants to leave. She wants to leave? Me? Yes, she wants to leave. Yeah, she wants to leave. She's letting me know. Yesterday she gave me, I don't know, you can too bright see, but I've got scritches. I've got the scratches on my wrist from yesterday's stream. I can't get the angle stuff things. I can't there barely. But yeah, she got me with her back claws trying to get away from captivity, being held. To show all you guys and gals, if gals. Oh boy, this is definitely thing. Ooh, hello. Ollie's here. He's a little bit more squirmy. Hi. How's my boy? He's also real big. Yeah, you're a 10-pound boy. You're a 10-pounder, over 10 pounds. Big muscular baby. Yes, you want to go. Go. Yes, that's my screen. That's my screen. Now I have a cat watching what I'm doing. That's a light. That's a light. You're seriously pawing with a light? He just went swiped. He swiped at my light. He swiped at the light. Kitty. Yes. Hi. What you want? What you doing? What you doing? I need to get this down, if at all possible. Down quite a ways, really? Nah. There you go. Oh, boy. I don't have enough undergrounds to finish that. To get it down to the thingy. The thingy madoohickey! Very specific to the train station that I need to get it to load onto a new train. Oh, there's those. And theoretically, that means... Oh yes, there is a thing I need to do down here. Which is that. Get everything requested and placed. Let's free some robots into the mix. Still 0. Wow, okay. Throw some more robots into the mix. 1,000 bots and they're all moving. Oh god. All of the bots then. Be free. There we go. Now there's a few. Now there's 300 and some odd not moving. By the way, they changed the way that these work now. Yeah, so they changed that worker robots in motion are now white. And there is a color differentiation between personal construction bots, regular construction bots on the network that are doing stuff, the Logi bots in motion and Logi bots not in motion. That's with today's patch to the game. They changed the colors of the wireframes. Oh, my god, you can barely see. They do go multicolored, I think? No, that's just my imagination. As they cross over other stuffs. Anyway. So, I should now have level 8 modules. Capable of being produced. I'll word it that way. They should be capable of being produced. So there's a level 4. There's a level 5. There's a level 6 being made. There's a level 7 being made. And, oh my gosh! Oh, did I not? Huh. I didn't do it for those last two. I have level 8 modules now. Oh my god. We finally, after all of this time, some of these I have to actually adjust to keep a bigger buffer on, but after all of this time, eons and eons, it feels, we're finally making level 8 modules. Let me just have a look at my streaming titles over the past while, just so that I can get an idea. When did we start working on modules? We started working on modules on my birthday, December 22nd, on day 31, with day 31 of the stream. It is now day 38 of the stream. It took 8 3-hour streams It took 8 3-hour streams, a full day of real time to figure out and build the infrastructure at scale, mind you, at a scale, at a scale to produce level 8 modules. Just how? Why is this so awful of a thing? Okay, it looks like I actually need to request way more stuff at a time. So I'm just gonna spam my left click by a lot on these because the limitation appears to be the moving of stuffs. Oh. Speaking of the moving of stuffs, why is there no moving of stuffs? Why is there no stuffs? Aha! Why is there no... Oh. Why is there no that? Why is there no that stuffs? What is that stuff? Oh. And that stuff would be steel. That would be steel. Why can I not? Where's the center on thingy? Open location on map. Cool. So. No steel because no silicon. No steel ingots. Oh, okay. Why no steel ingot? Why no steel ingot? Ingot? I'm pretty sure I set up steel ingot. I have steel ingot. I should have lots of steel ingot. It's just slow. It's just slow. I'm using a lot of stuff. I'm using lots of steel. And it's just taking a while to accrue. We have 5 level 8 productivity modules. Yay! Yay! We have 5 level 8 productivity modules. What are the most important things with which to add the productivity to at this point in time? The things to make the modules are the #1 most important things. The getting productivity in the things that give you modules to make your module production better is inherently going to be one of the best things to spend to use these modules on. The overall best thing to use productivity modules on is, of course, science. Labs. The processing of science. That is step 1. Normally, once you have a production of modules, if you have science to do, which I don't right now, not until I get into utility science, is to get labs productive. Then get science productive as best you can down the entire chain for the production of the science. Then circuits. For any of the other production of circuits that's not currently involved in the production of the science, which they all do eventually get used in all the sciences, but just from labs, science, circuits is usually what I think of as the hierarchy of what to use productivity and speed modules on in that order. But, of course, trumping all of that is just getting modules in the first place. And for that purpose, we need stuffs and things to be highly productive. Now, it does appear as if I need to request infinitely more amount of stuffs from these. So I will go ahead and do that, and then it is time to end off the stream here for the day today. It's about 5 minutes after the hour, which I usually end. So, what did we get done today? We have level 8 modules. Like, full stop. Hallelujah. We have level 8 modules being produced in our base right now. Shenanigans have only just begun. We are ready. We are ready for the massive shenanigans that these modules will bring, as well as the bacon will bring. I'm going to take some lower level modules that I have accrued, any amounts of... Alright, that looks like the highest, that level 5 right there. It's time to make things far more productive and far faster, using the power of the bacon and the productivity. That is the plan. That is the plan going forward. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Attack Show, but if you have enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff below the video. Hit that great big like button and consider hitting that great big blue join button to become an erudite otaku to support the channel on a recurring basis and turn that blue button gray. Oh yeah, remember I need to place a missing crusher. I need a there's a missing crusher up here. Let's be sure to do that real quick like. There it goes. No more alert. Ta-da. Yeah, so please be sure to have a look at that join button to become an erudite otaku if you haven't already. You could also support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushow, but if you're so inclined and able. And I will be back with Satisfactory tomorrow, and then more of this playthrough of Factorio with Angels, Bobs, and Space Extension on Sunday. I hope to see you all on the next one.